Okay. Number 3 is talking about the armhole, putting the bias tape on the armhole. We're going to bypass that. And then number 3 is talking about the same thing with the armhole, about putting it on the front side. We're going to do that later on. And then it's talking about putting the bias tape on the front and the back of the dress where the ribbon is going to go through. We're going to do all that part later. What we're going to do is we're going to do what they're talking about last. We're going to do that first before we do all of this. We're going to do all of this last. We're going to do this part first, 9, 10, and 11, which let me show you. I don't know if you can see very well or not. Let me fold this in half. Okay. Right here, 9. Can you see it? Let me fold it a little bit more. Alright. Alright. We're going to do, let me get my light over here a little bit more. Okay. We're going to do 9, 10, and 11. Okay. This is your band. I always like to do this first. Okay. For some reason, I don't know why, but I like to do these steps after I do the side seams of the dress. Now, they're talking about doing the side seams of the band. I just did the side seams, okay? The next step they're talking about is putting the side seams on the bottom of the dress. So what they're talking about, let me fold this where you can see the instructions. And I'm trying to keep it underneath my light so you can see. Number 10 right here. They're saying on the outside, pin band to lower edge of garment, matching centers and side seams. Stitch seam, stitch again 1/4 inch from first stitching with seam allowance, and then trim the seam and then press seam toward garment. Okay, so this is what they're talking about. And I'm going to turn you toward me, but you're not going to see me. I just don't want to be seen today. Let me back up a little bit because I can't seem to get my camera to turn around very well. So, you're just going to see part of me. Alright, here we go. Alright, there. Alright, what they're talking about is this. Here's the inside of the band. Let me put something on this so it doesn't fly away, the instructions. Alright, so this is the inside of the band. So what you're going to do, first thing you need to do is you need to get your side seam, one side seam, okay? And you need to bring it up together like this. You see what I just did? I got the inside side seams and I brought them together, okay? Alright, so now it's going to look like this. Alright? It's just going to look like that. So you're going to pin it. Alright? Let me get closer. See that? Alright, now you're going to get your other side seam. And this is why you need to iron, because it's so much easier to get your side seams together. Alright, so now you got your other side seam. And you're pinning it. Alright? So now you're going to fold the rest of it. Now see what, that's what it's going to look like. So now you need to bring the rest of it, and I always like to start at one of the centers, and bring your sides up like that, like you're putting your side seams together when you're getting ready to sew your side seams, and pin all the way around. Now there's a step that the instructions don't call for, and I like to do this. That way I know that it's going to stay together. Because I did a dress and it was today and I didn't do it. No, it was yesterday. I'm sorry. No, not yesterday. A couple of days ago. I did a dress and I didn't do this step, and I should have. But what you need to do is, when you get the dress pinned like I'm doing now, you need to sew across here. That way you know that these two pieces are together when you go to put it on the bottom of the body piece. The main body of the dress. Sometimes you have to kind of adjust the band part to make sure that the pieces fit real good. That's why you saw me move a pin over, because it wasn't adjusting right and I had to readjust. Okay, now I'm going back to this side. So I always like to start in this one of the side seams. That's my starting point, and then I go around until I get to the other side seam, and then I go back to my starting point, and then I go to the other side of the other side seam. Alrighty, okay, so that's what it's supposed to look like. See there? So now what you're going to do is you're going to take it to the machine and you're going to do a regular stitch all the way around. You could do a basting stitch if you want, or you can do a regular stitch if you want. It really doesn't matter. And get the stitch up close to where you did your zigzag or overlock stitch or whatever. Get it right up underneath. Get it right up underneath the stitch right here, or you could do it in the middle of the stitch here if you want, but make sure you get these two pieces together. It'll make your life so much easier trying to put this onto here. Alright, I'm going to stop the camera. I'm going to get my free arm off so that way I can get this on there. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I forgot to move my needle over. Alright, for those of you that can move your needle over, I have moved my needle over to the right to 3.50. Alright, and I always start on one of the side seams. So let's go ahead and get started here. Sorry, I just bumped my camera because I was trying to get my foot pedal. Alright, here we go. I'm sewing I'm sewing sideways here. Never did this before. Alright, here we go. Trying to keep my hand out of the way. Maybe my editing program has fast forward and stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. Like I said, this step is not in the instructions, but this is something I have found out that makes my life a lot easier. Now almost to the end. Okay. Alrighty. There. Alright, I'll be right back while I set my machine back up. Okay, the next thing I did was I put the band onto the dress, on the body of the dress. So what I did was I put the band right sides together. You see there's the right side? And I pinned it. And I started with one of the side seams. See there's the side seam there? And I did the side seam of the body. See the seam right there? I don't know if you can see it because of the dress. See that line right there? There's the side seam. So I did the side seam with the side seam there. And then I just pinned all the way around. Okay, so we're going to the machine now. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to put the foot of the sewing machine, I hope you can see the edge, this edge right here, with the edge of the body of the dress and where the band of the, where the edge of the band meet. Okay, so that's where the edge of this foot is meeting, is right on the edge there where those two pieces. So you've got three layers of fabric right there that the edge of this foot is meeting right there. And you've got your needle in the center position. All right, here we go. And you don't have to worry about doing a backup stitch, because when you come back around, you're going to be going back into that stitch that you started off with, you know, for a couple of stitches. So you're going to be locking it in anyhow. I always smooth my fabric out as I go. This is going to look so cute. I always get so excited when I get these dresses made, because I can't wait to see what it's all going to look like when I get through. Because they all come out different because of the colors and everything. And sometimes I do, you know, different kinds of embellishments like rickrack and lace and whatever, which I may end up wanting to do that to this one. I'm not sure. I'm still thinking. I might want to do some rickrack on this. Maybe some black rickrack. I don't know. Knowing me, I never know what I'm going to do. See, when I get to this part, I'm always thinking, now what can I do? Never look at your needle. Always keep an eye on the foot. That way you know you're always keeping your seam straight. I always keep one hand under my fabric and rolling it, and I always keep one hand over here to make sure I keep the fabric flat. And then sometimes I keep it over here to make sure I get these side seams flat. See, I went over it a couple stitches. Alright. That's the end of that. Whoop, my bobbin thread didn't cut. Alright, let me cut my threads here. I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm going to go over to the iron. Be right back. Okay, I'm here at the ironing board. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be ironing down. Well, first what I want to do is I want to get to the inside. I forgot about that. I want to iron this band me show you. I'm gonna iron this band up this way, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Get some steam on it. I have some company with me today. Look who's over in my chair. Can you see her? Where is she? There she is. You see her? Every time I come in here to sew, she's with me. So I always have company with me. She usually takes a little nap when she's in here with me. Angel, stop. Where's the blanket? Oh, she brought the blanket over here. She likes to lay down on the blanket sometimes, but I don't know why she brought it over here. I made a blanket, and I leave it in that chair, and she likes to cuddle with it sometimes. Alright, now that I got that done, you see how nice it's laying down toward the front? I don't know if you can see it or not. See that? Alright, so I'm going to turn it right side out. Always iron after you sew. Each step that you do, always iron. Because it always looks so much nicer when you do. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this seam toward this way. See? So I'm pressing the seam this way. And it makes the dress look so much nicer when you take the extra steps. It makes it look professional. And it makes the person think that you took the extra time and the pride to take the steps to do this. My first video of the pillowcase dress, I'm just not really all that happy with the way it turned out. I'm not really tickled about the way I did that video. So, but I think that the person that requested this video, she wanted me to go step by step with it. So that's why I'm taking my time to do the step by step. So that way she can see exactly how I do the dresses. I think that's what she really wanted. She wanted to see how I do the dresses. She wanted to see step by step, not a quickie thing, you know, like some people, they might do a dress like in 20 minutes. It doesn't take 20 minutes to make a dress. It takes like an hour to do a pillowcase dress once you get it on the machine. That's not from cutting and, you know, picking your supplies and everything out. Okay, there you go. There you go. See? So after you take the time to do the inside and then you iron the outside, that's what it's going to look like. Now, if you want at this point, now that you still have your free arm off the machine, you can go ahead and put rickrack on, lace, whatever you want to do. Which maybe I think that's what I might want to do. So I'm going to turn the camera off, and I think I want to put some rickrack on. So I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to see if I can find some brown maybe, because I'm going to do black ribbon and black bias tape. So I'm going to see if I can find some brown rickrack. Be right back.